What up, y'all? Welcome back. So I want to dive into this whole situation with this Austin mass shooter. For those of you who have not heard or have not seen this, there was a crazy shooting in Austin, Texas, where three people got killed. There was 14 injured. This guy, he pretty much just shot up a bar. I want to say he's a Nigerian guy. I want to say his name is Indiaga Diagne. Um, he's actually from Senegal. Um, and pretty much he just went off, and they're trying to tie it to a terrorist attack, and they're still trying to figure out if it's a terrorist attack because of what he was wearing. It said Allah and things like that. But I want to kind of dive into it. If you're not privy on the situation, this is pretty much what's going on.
Telling everybody about the Austin mass shooter, and now we have a picture. And this is what we're finding out per multiple federal law enforcement sources to our own Bill Malhusian. The Austin mass shooter is a 53-year-old naturalized U.S. citizen who was born in Senegal and was living in Pflugerville, Texas. Material recovered from his person and inside the vehicle give possible indications of a nexus to terrorism, as the FBI announced earlier today. And remember what we said he had in his possession and was also wearing. The shooter was wearing clothing that said Allah on it. His sweater said property of Allah. And there's also known to be an undershirt with an Iranian flag and other materials inside. And remember what Representative Michael McCall of Texas just told me last hour. He said, Harris, in my own backyard, just last night, we had an event that possibly could have been terror inspired right here in Austin, Texas. This is what he was talking.
So this pretty much, as they said, he's at a bar and he pretty much just started kind of shooting. So, three people have been killed and 14 injured after a gunman targeted a bar in Austin, Texas. Authorities confirmed police killed the suspect, who has been identified as Niaga Dagne, a 53-year-old man, U.S. Naturalized citizen born in Senegal. Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis said around 1:30 a.m. on Sunday, March 1st, today, 911 calls came in reporting a man shooting at Buford's, a beer garden on 6th Street. The suspect reportedly drove around in a SUV circling the block when he began firing shots, which rang out from the vehicle's open window at people seated at Buford's outside bar. Diagne then reportedly exited the SUV and continued shooting as he walked up the street. Eventually, at least three responding police officers fired back at the suspect, killing him. Police said multiple weapons were found in his SUV, along with the pistol and a rifle found at the scene. Austin Travis County EMS Chief Robert Lukritz said 3 people died and 14 people were injured. At least 3 were in critical condition. Along with police officials in Austin, Texas, the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force has joined the investigation. Federal officials believe the mass shooting may be a potential nexus to terrorism amid the U.S. and Israel's airstrike attack on Iran. Fox News reported that the gunman wore a T-shirt with the Iranian flag below, a hoodie that read "Property of Allah." So I mean, that's exactly what it seems like to me. It seems like an actual, retaliation type of thing. And it's funny because I just did a video on this talking about the whole thing that's going on with Iran. So we're in a situation now. We're in a day and age where people gonna slide for what they believe in. People gonna slide for their country. People gonna slide for they religion, whatever it may be. It's gonna happen. So that's why I say with the whole situation with Trump is like, bro, I get what Trump is trying to do. Like, okay, well, y'all threatening us, so we gonna smash y'all. All right, but just understand, once you start doing that, what the cause and effect is. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is a random shooting, but at the same time, it's not. Right? It's not that random because of what's going on. So it's one of them things where it's like I feel like we got to do better as a country. Where it's like we got to make the right decisions. That's why I feel like Trump be, he to me he pulled a trigger too fast. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't again with every cause there's an effect. So you pulling the trigger super fast, and you putting everybody else at risk because you want to respond the way that you want to respond. So this clip right here is actually, um, you can't really see anything, but you can just kind of hear what's going on. But this is the actual shooting.
Oh my God! What is going on? What the fuck is going on? Jesus fucking Christ! What the fuck?
Yeah, man. So that was kind of like what happened, and I believe this guy was filming from across the street and probably filming into the bar. So it happened, like I said, the guy drove past the bar, start firing shots into the bar, and hopped out and start shooting.
I've been telling everybody about the Austin mass shooter, and now we have a picture. And this is what we're finding out. Per multiple federal law enforcement sources to our own Bill Mallusion, the Austin mass shooter is a 53-year-old naturalized U.S. citizen who was born in Senegal and was living in Pflugerville, Texas. Material recovered from his person and inside the vehicle give possible indications of a nexus to terrorism, as the FBI announced earlier today. And remember what we said he had in his possession and was also wearing. The shooter was wearing clothing that said Allah on it. His sweater said property of Allah. And there's also known to be an undershirt with an Iranian flag and other materials inside. And remember what Representative Michael McCall of Texas just told me last hour. He said, Harris, in my own backyard, just last night, we had an event that possibly could have been terror inspired right here in Austin, Texas. This is what he was talking about. Brett, I was reminding Americans this is not a new place for us to be in terms of keeping our heads on a swivel. But it bears repeating. We've lost Americans in the fight on the battlefield, and protecting the homeland now is also something that we must be on the alert. Now, authorities have not tied this Austin situation to what's happening in the Middle East as terror related to that, but they are investigating it just moments ago, confirming as a possible terror attack. Your reaction?
Well, we have for ways to harm.
I don't know if you would say.
Yeah, no, man, it's a sick situation, man, but I think, again, like I said, with the whole just the Iran thing going on, I told everybody, I'm like, yo, you got to protect yourself, protect your family. We in that time where there's no rules. Some people going to feel away, hop out the window. You know what I'm saying? The same way Trump hopped out the window, start smashing on them. It's the same situation. Somebody hop out the window, start smashing on us. And I'm sure the same way that there's a shooter here that's down with that side that's like, hey, look, I'm gonna respond like this. I'm sure there's probably the same thing over there. You know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, you messing with my people. What, again, whether it's because he seems like I said, he's a black dude. So, I don't know if he's from Iran or you know what I'm saying, or he I don't know what it is. But I just know that, like they said, he's responding, and it seemed like he's on that side. So, stay close with your families. Try to stay out the way. We got a lot of stuff been going on out here. And like I said, Trump ain't making it no better. You know what I mean? He say he helping, but it seemed like he ain't making it no better. So all you can do is try to protect yourself and protect your family. The stories, continuing to unfold. These are the videos that just came out a few hours ago, but I'm sure it'll continue to unfold, and there'll be more stuff coming
corruption.
out. So as it comes out, I'll definitely update you guys with everything that's going on. But yeah, man, we gotta just pray on it. We gotta pray on it. We gotta try to stay positive, stay protected. Stay dangerous. You know what I mean? Because again, peeps, You never know who thinking what. You never know. Dude driving down the street starts shooting up a bar. You know what I mean? Like you could just be chilling, relaxing, and something like that happen. You know, so you gotta stay positive and try to stay out the way, man. You gotta stay positive and stay out the way. But I hope that they obviously killed the dude, so the dude's not alive no more. I don't believe. I think they put him down. But the same way that he did that, I'm sure there's more people that's the same way. You know what I mean? Like it's more people that's like, yo, I'm on the same type of shit he on. No difference. No difference. So we gotta just kind of stay out the way. So another thing that I wanted to touch on, I was seeing the whole thing with Mr. Tenderism. For those of you who do not know, Mr. Tenderism was an old black dude. He
They trying to act like that.
he had a little dance that he was doing. He pretty much was promoting a barbecue spot, and there was so much back and forth around what was going on with him. Did he own the spot? Because obviously he's making them a lot of money, right? So he had all these little commercials, these little skits that he was doing with different celebrities, and I'm gonna pull up one of the skits so y'all can kind of like see exactly what I'm talking about if you're not familiar with Mr. Tenderism. Mr. Tenderism. Yeah, I feel like they kind of did this dude bogus, man. I feel like they kind of did him bogus. He was doing a lot for they restaurant. So y'all see the white guy that he's in the a lot of these videos with. Let's see if y'all can see this. Yeah, so this white guy that's next to him in the video, that's the owner, the actual owner of the restaurant. So, he was doing a lot of promotion, a lot of different videos were coming out about, how he was just like the meat was like he had meat and meat was falling off the bone and things like that. I'm gonna show y'all one of the videos.
See this brisket here? I tried telling y'all about tenderness. You think I'm playing? Look.
That's the whole thing.
I tried telling you.
Where pretty much the barbecue is so good that it's falling off the bone. So he was doing a lot of different videos like this, and he pretty much blew up the company. The company was already something. They were already, making money and doing what they were doing, but him getting involved in doing the whole, video with him doing that with meat falling off the bone, that obviously brought way more eyes to their business. And everybody's thinking that Mr. Tenderism was the owner. Different things transpired, and I believe Mr. Tenderism ended up getting fired. At first it was a lot of things that was going on with the ownership side where it was like, damn, well, if I'm blowing up the company, give me some type of ownership or some type of pay or something. And I'm sure the owner was kind of like, nah, I ain't messing with you like that. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason. I'm not gonna give you no ownership. I'm not gonna give you no type of compensation, real compensation. Not here's a couple $100, here's a couple thousand, but if I made you 100,000, if I made you 500,000, whatever it may be, pay me properly because I'm the one that did the marketing for that. So there was a whole thing with that, and I'm thinking that they let him go. So he came out with a video recently where he was pretty much talking about how he's not with the company anymore. So it went from like, him portraying, because in a lot of videos he was kind of portraying, he wasn't saying he was an owner, but he was portraying like, man, this is my guy right here, the owner. We family. You know what I'm saying? Not saying I'm an owner, but saying that we family, we connected. insinuating that he has my best interest at heart. I'm good. Y'all don't have to worry about me. Because of course, everybody like, damn, I'm trying to support, but I'm thinking that you own this and the whole time it's somebody else. So a video came out recently with, him kind of basically saying like, I'm not with them no more.
Isn't coming to y'all. You know, I just got off the freeway kind of late at night, but I want to know y'all come on my page.
Let me see. This is one of the videos that he put out. This is one of the videos that he put out where he was pretty much saying like, come to my page, come check me out, etc., etc.
Mr. Tenderism, Walter Johnson. Yes, sir. Y'all come on down now. I'm the Tenderism original. Not nobody else. The original Tenderism. Booyah.
So he comes out with that video, right? So that video alone kind of tell everybody something's going on. Something's going on. There's, it's a little weird that, you kind of distancing yourself from that whole company, right? Then he comes out with this new video that I believed he dropped today, where he pretty much double downs and says, this is just me. Come to my page, come follow me. See if I can find this video. It just gave everybody kind of another bad taste in their mouth, where it's like, man, y'all definitely was playing him. He blows up y'all company, then all of a sudden y'all don't rock with the dude like that. All of a sudden, he gets fired from the company. And I'm sure he got fired because he's asking for ownership. I'm sure he got fired because he started realizing, oh shit, I'm bringing y'all a lot of money, and y'all not truly compensating me for bringing it to you. You just saying, hey, good job, Walter, whatever it may be, but you're not giving me no real compensation for this. So this right here is a new video that came out.
A question I think everybody been wanting to know is, are you still at Destination Smokehouse?
No, I'm not. I'm not at Destination Smokehouse. I'm with Tenderism now. I had to go on my own, so that way I can do what I have to do. So I don't want nobody to be, it is what it is. You got to move on. When things happen, you don't get mad. Hey, you just take another step. Get glad. Praise the Lord, you're still living. But hey, I'm finna tenderize the world now. Hey, they should have never. But it is what it is, y'all. Hey, family out there, y'all keep supporting me. I guarantee you, I ain't gonna do you wrong. Booyah.
It's a messed up situation. He pretty much just let it be known, I'm not rocking with them no more. They didn't appreciate me, so I'm doing my own thing. But at the same time, it's one of those things where you got to go educate yourself. You too old to not educate yourself at all on business. And that's why I say, like, people love to say, I'm not a business person. I'm not a business person. I'm not a business person. I'm not into business. Until you kind of are either forced to be, or until you start realizing that because I'm not, I'm missing out on a lot of opportunity that could change me and my family's life. And I feel like he overstands now, even though he's at a higher age. I think that he overstands, like, all of that handshake shit, all of that, hey, well, this person got my best interest at heart. Nah, you need something on paper. You need something written. You need a full understanding as to, hey, listen, if I'm going to be doing this outside of what I'm doing, because you can do one video, because this is what I think happened. I think he did one video, and I feel like the video blew up. And I feel like the owner, I'm sure, was like, well, shit, keep going, keep doing more. Once the video blew up, you have to start saying to yourself, hey, let me start to let me start to figure out what I can be doing on the ownership side, because there's a reason why he's saying do more. He not just saying do more just to say do more. He's saying do more because you doing more is going to put more money in the company's pocket. So if you could put more money in the company's pocket, then we both can win. You know what I'm saying? So I think that part of it is one side being greedy and not giving the other person the not giving them the real conversation, not looking out, not saying, hey, look, I know this is the right thing to do. But on the other side, it's you're not prepared for the opportunity. On the other side is you're not educating yourself to understand that I'm bringing real value to a company, and y'all can't just continue to pay me a regular wage, whatever I've been getting paid, when I know that I'm bringing crazy sales to your company. And I feel like a lot of us, we got to start doing that. We got to start saying, you know, I'm bringing hella shit to their company. I'm bringing hella shit to their company. Like, I can't just be getting paid, you know, $20 an hour. You done just made $500K off me. If you done just made $500K off me, then I can't be worth $20 an hour. But again, if you don't know, and you don't know to ask, or you don't know to bring it up, or you don't protect yourself, then it's not too many people that's going to really tell you, because again, they're losing money, right? Some people go and say, if I tell him the real, then that $500K that I made, I might have to split that. So now I only got $250. That don't sit right with me. Some people are greedy like that in business. Some people are like, well, shit, I wouldn't have had the $500K if it wasn't for him. So let me give him $250. Let me give him $100. You know what I'm saying? That can be life-changing money if you know what to do with it. If you don't know what to do with it, it's not going to be like life-changing money. $5,000 can be $1,000 can be life-changing money if you know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I always hear people online, oh, that's not life-changing money. What's life-changing money to you may not be for the next person. Person asks, well, what could a person do with $1,000? Well, you can do a lot of shit. You can get your credit in position to fucking, you know, get some access to financing to invest in something of your own. You could take that. You could buy a camera and you could start shooting your own content. You could take that, buy a phone, start shooting your own content. You could take that, put it into the stock market. You could take that and, you know, buy a copyright, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? But you can, if you know what to do with something, then you can be able to build something of your own. But again, everybody's not going to tell you that. Everybody's not going to take money out their pocket to put money in your pocket. And I feel like I'm not trying to just sit there and blame him, Mr. Tenderism, Walter. But I'm saying that this should be a learning lesson for everybody to say, look, let me start to understand my value. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it took me a long time to understand mine. And I'm also still learning. But just understand that if you bring in sales to a company, nigga, that's major. Y'all need to either be paying me to bring you sales or give me a piece of this company. Either or. Give me some equity in the company or pay me for what I'm doing. It ain't $20 an hour. So he should have been getting paid a marketing fee for doing what he was doing, or he should have been, hey, listen, we'll give you 5% of the company. Keep doing what you doing. A solid owner would have been like, hey, bro, I see what you're doing and it's bringing me a lot of money. I'll give you 5% of the company, but if you keep this whole thing going. But again, some people might have made money a certain way, but that don't mean that they're just the smartest person in other things. You still got people that'll see what you can do for them. They see the value you provide. And instead of saying, let me get them to provide more value and pay them accordingly, they'll say, well, shit, I got a 30% increase off of him. Shit, I don't need him no more. Watch out. I'm good. Come on. I'm gone. Right? So that's a greedy person. So I personally feel like the owner got greedy and was probably like, you know what? I don't feel like I need you. I got what I can get out of you. I don't feel like I need you like that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he took the opportunity to say, you know what? I could get you out the way and just make all the profit from what you've done. Make all the profit from what you've done. And I've seen people in business do it. I've seen people in business say, I would rather be greedy than to see you level up. I'd rather be greedy than to see you level up. You know, and that's just how some people are, man. That's just how some people are. You know, so you gotta kind of say to yourself, man, the only way that I could really not have that happen is I start educating myself and I start understanding that sometimes people, I would say tell yourself all the time people don't give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? Have it in your head so that you can go into any room and say, you know what? I got to protect myself. I got to know how to move in business because don't nobody got a better interest in my shit than me. You know what I mean? And even though that can be false, because there's some people that want more for you than what you want for yourself, you have to want for yourself, but you have to also go into it saying, look, I got to have my best interest at heart. At the end of the day, if I know that I'm bringing a company value, I know that I'm bringing somebody value, I need to be compensated handsomely for it. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know that, I'm gonna be the one to tell you, because I've been on both sides and been like, hey, look, I'm bringing a lot of value here and I'm not getting compensated for this. And I've been on the side of like, nigga, start understanding your value and start putting it on paper. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. So if you don't know, if you are bringing, and I feel like we're going into this day and age anyway, right? If you are bringing value to a company, value meaning I'm making you extra money, right? You can be looked at as an employee and they're not going to pay you more. Maybe you get a quarter raise or $1 raise or a $2 or whatever small number that people think is a lot of money. Oh shit, they gave me a $2 raise. God damn. Nigga, you've been with the company for 10 years, my nigga. What are you talking about? Well, I got a $10 raise since I've been there. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. You got to start realizing the most valuable thing that you can do for a company is bring them sales. So if you know how to bring sales, then you're a huge asset. Either they need to pay you for those sales that you're bringing, marketing dollars, percentage of sales, or whatever it may be, or nigga, I need equity for this company. I need equity. Because again, I'm growing your shit. So think about, and again, we live in such a day and age where it's such a norm that niggas don't think about it. Bro been with the company 15 years. Nigga brought the company a whole bunch of money. You over there, your goofy ass getting paid $25 an hour, $30 an hour, $40 an hour. They over there like, let me get him a little trip to Bahamas. Let me get him a little trip. Here's your trip for bringing me another $3 million. You know what I'm saying? And they mask it as it's a company party. Everybody gets pizza. Like, nigga, I just brought you fucking 300,000. What are we talking about? But again, if you don't know to ask, you're not gonna ask. If you don't know to say something about it, you're not gonna say nothing about it. You're gonna be like, all right, well, you know, It is what it is. Nah, you got to start understanding your value. So again, either the most valuable thing you can do for a company is get them sales. And if that's the case, and you know that you're making that company money, pay me for this, because I cannot do it. But if I figured out a way to do this that you didn't have, I'm a valuable asset. But if I don't know to let you guys know that I'm a valuable asset, then you guys not gonna say anything. You're gonna sit back in the boardroom and be like, "This nigga Andre brought us another 500,000. Damn, okay, cool." You know what I'm saying? But we still paying him $24 an hour, as opposed to being like, "Bro, he brought us 400,000. That's at least 100,000." You know what I'm saying? If he brought us four, we still gotta obviously run the business. But if he brought us four, we can at least give him 100. Some companies you can give them 200. You know what I'm saying? But again, you have to know your value and you have to create. This is why y'all see me creating this community online, because I understand the fact that, nigga, you need to get to build an audience so that when you promote X product, whether it's your product or somebody else's product or somebody else's service or your service, you have the people, right? Tenderism has the people, because people are like, oh, that's like, he remind me of my uncle. Because he has the people, he can bring that to any product. That's why I say the dumb thing for them to do was let the nigga go. Because I'm getting liked and I'm on the internet and people are falling in love with me for what I do. So he can do that for another company, and he can grow the company. If he say, yo, I'm this Tenderism, whatever, right? You can either go with another company or have your own shit. People are gonna buy because they rocking with you and they like you. It's not all about you have the best product. If you have a great product on top of that, amazing. But it's one of those things. So with him, bro, like I'm just, I hope that he can just figure out his value and figure out like, nigga, I'm somebody. You know what I mean? I feel like everything will get a lot easier for him and he'll be able to get to the goals he trying to get to, man. So one time for Mr. Tenderism, man. Time for Mr. Tenderism. It's a crazy world out here, man. But let's get into this. Let's get into this Joy Chavis. Let's get into this Joy Chavis situation. I see a lot of people was on Joy. You know what I'm saying? Joy pop out, crazy body. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready for the summer and all of that. And I feel like a lot of people, she had some comments, and it's been kind of making some noise on the internet. She posted his picture, and she's kind of just on some like, I'm out here. If you follow Joy, like she's a beautiful girl. So beautiful girl, body stupid. So she just posting what she posting, but at the same time, she posting pictures in her underwear. She posting pictures in bikini, so some people is like, hey, you know what I mean? What will my, you know what I'm saying? Like, what will my, I think the guy's comment was, he said, I would hate to get on the internet and see my mom in her panties, and she kind of clapped back at the dude. She like, your mama don't look like this, baby. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people been talking about it. It's been a lot of back and forth. You got some people saying, man, that's true. Some people saying like it's a good clap back. Some people saying, nah, you too old and you got a kid. You shouldn't be on the internet in your panties. You know what I mean? Like you a mom of multiple kids. So it's that whole back and forth, right? So my question is, when do you draw the line? So this is the video that she posted. And let me know in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel. Let me know in the comments if y'all think she was doing too much as a mom, or it's like, look, you got the body, show it off while you can. Let me know. This is the video. And I ain't gonna play the audio because I'm not trying to get flagged. But that's pretty much what she did. So everybody kind of like, damn, you know, some people saying you a hoe, ooh, you doing too much. You got a kid, you know. Some people saying, nah, like show off your body. Show off your body. You if you got it, show it off. But again, I think that we just in that day and age. We in the day and age of, you know, get on the internet, do your thing, you know, be who you are, and who accept you, who don't, they don't. You know what I'm saying? But reading some of these comments, somebody said both have valid points though. Somebody said let this lady advertise for her fourth baby daddy in peace. Some said exactly. Some said it was a good clapback, but the statement still stands. Some people said she looks good, but I agree with the statement. Um, Somebody said Shy is getting older. Wrap shit like this up. You know, your daughter getting older, she can see shit. She gonna think shit like this is cool. Two things can be true. Somebody else said two things can be true. My mom definitely don't like this. She definitely don't look like this. She's 65 and natural. And yes, I would still hate to go online and see my parents in their underwear. Somebody said, but ain't nobody said she didn't look good. Guess the message went over her head. Y'all love being naked on the internet. You know, I think I don't know. Like me personally, I'm gonna say this: if that was my baby mom, and I'm talking from a perspective of a co-parent. If that was my baby mom, me knowing, and I'm only talking from this perspective because a lot of people are saying, man, like you got a daughter, you got kids. So from parent to parent, and I had a daughter with her. If I was Future, if I was Bow Wow, I'd be like, that ain't it. I'm gonna be honest, that ain't it. Now, motherfuckers is grown. Motherfuckers gonna do what they gonna do. They gonna do what they feel is the best that they feel like they should do that. That's their business, right? But me personally, you know, I'll probably be like, nah, I don't that ain't cool because I understand what that is. I understand. So if my daughter was Bow Wow's daughter, right? It'd be like, yo, you know what? You just know, do what you gonna do. You grown, but know what you're doing, right? Know what you're setting up. Know that at the end of the day, your daughter's gonna see that and think that this shit is cool. No difference if I had a son and I'm online with straps and shit. I'm online counting with the money phone like this and shit, holding holding the lean bottle. You get what I'm saying? Like, so the way that women show off their body is the same way that men to show off their money or their lifestyle or whatever it may be, right? So I think that from that side of it, I'm like, yeah, nah. You know, and from the side that the guy said, like, would you, if, what do you say? How do you word it? I would hate to get on the internet and see my mom in her panties for sure. If she was my mom, speaking from that perspective, if she was my mom, I would be embarrassed for sure, right? For sure. A girl may not see it that way, but they may they I think they'll see it that way, but not as much as a boy. A boy will be on some like, mom, you like that's embarrassing because you know that it's kids at school that's his age. It's like, man, nigga, your mom ain't nobody, nigga. I be seeing her, her panties all the time. She on internet, she ain't nobody. Like, so a boy is gonna mess with you. It's gonna get under your skin. It's gonna hurt your feelings. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like just as a parent, yeah, I feel like me personally, you know, that's the older me talking. That's the 35-year-old me talking. You know what I'm saying? And we all in the same age group. I think Joy is in her 30s, I believe. Let me see. I believe she in her. Let me see. How old is Joy Chavis. 37 years old. I'm 35, right? Yeah. So again, man, just as somebody in their 30s, speaking as a 35-year-old, is that the move when you got 3 kids, you got a little girl that's growing up, that's 13, 14, or whatever it may be? Yeah. That's, to me, that's like, you don't do no shit like that because you're embarrassing your kids. Me personally. As a nigga, as a nigga is like, yo, show your body. You got it. Show your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a nigga that's just a man, you know what I'm saying? And the younger side of me goes, you look good, show it off. Show it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, be proud of your body. You know what I'm saying? You had 3 kids, you snap back, you know what I mean? You snap back into shape, you showing your body off, show it off. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers want to see it. Show it off. You know what I'm saying? That's the side that I'm speaking from just as a man. You know what I mean? So I think that it's one of those things she gotta start saying to herself, but anybody with kids, and I think that's why this is such a talked about topic today, because it's like anybody with kids, any woman with kids, you know what I mean? Keep in mind, and I'm not just gonna get on the women, I'm gonna get on the men too. Keep in mind what you posting, bro. Man or woman. When you got kids, stop all that. Oh, I don't know why they act the way they act. I don't know why they're like that. No, it's because of the shit that you do. It don't matter what you're telling. Oh, I'm grown, I could do this. I hate when parents try to, like, you know, I'm grown. They know the difference because I'm grown. It don't matter. Like, your kid is trying to be just like you. They don't care about if you grown or if you know what I'm saying? Whatever, however you are, whatever you do, they're trying to mimic that. So if you're online taking pictures, squeezing your ass out, lifting that shit up so no motherfuckers can see, you know what I'm saying, that you got it, just know that your daughter is looking at that like that's the thing to do. That's the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? You could say all day, nah, don't do that. No, I'm grown. That's the thing to do. Because when she do that, she getting all the attention. She getting all the likes. Everybody paying attention to her. Everybody running to her page. That's the thing to do. So if my mama do it, that's what I'm going to do. Vice versa. If I'm online, you know what I'm saying, holding the strap, pointing it in the camera, got the money phone, counting it up, talking about bitches ain't shit, this, and I got a son, I can't expect for him not to look at that and be like, you know what? That's the way to be. I can't expect, I'll be a fool. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people live in that world of shit. It is what it is. Shit, like that's just me. A lot of people live in that world. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think this should be a learning lesson for everybody, and especially Joy, to say, look, I could either listen to what motherfuckers are saying and not post myself like that because it may affect my kid, or ignore what people are saying and just say, yo, your mama don't look like this. Because that's a typical thing that a young-minded chick would say. You know what I'm saying? A grown-ass woman is like, nah, I get what he's saying, for sure. But a grown-ass woman's not going to post she's not going to post that. She's not. Because she can still look sexy in that suit. She can still look sexy with them jeans on, just on some, you know what I mean? And she does post that type of stuff. So I'm not going to make it seem like that this is the only post that she do, because it's not. But a grown-ass woman is going to be like, nah, I'm not about to do all of that. I got a daughter that's looking at me. I'm not going to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's ways to be pretty and sexy and, you know what I'm saying, and draw attention outside of that. I'm not about to do that. You know what I'm saying? My kids don't go to school and get talked about. A person that's not selfish, they look at that and be like, yeah, that's real. That's real. A person that's just, you know what I'm saying, they don't care. See, your mama don't look like this. What was her response? What she say? She said, what she say? Your mama don't she say, your mama don't look like this. Oh, your mama don't look like me, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, she don't know what the mama look like. You know what I mean? That's just a way to say, mind your business. I'm not gonna change for nobody. This is me. This is what I want to do. You can't tell me what I can do and what I can't do. And again, the immature person goes, yeah, girl, you right. That's your body. You right. Fuck what these niggas talking about. That's your body. Same way the immature nigga goes, no, nigga, do you. Nigga, shit, if that's how you moving, your son gonna be a rider too. Same way. You know what I'm saying? You could say that shit to yourself all day long. Oh, this is, I'm grown. You can't say nothing to me. This is how I feel. This is what I want to do. A nigga gonna say that all day long. You know what I'm saying? It's immature shit. You know what I'm saying? And the immature people, they look at the shit, yeah, we grown, shit. Do you pay my bills? Like, I hate when somebody jump to, like, you try to say some shit that's like, hey, this is real shit, just off the stream. I'm just telling you. Do you pay the bit? The fuck that got to do with anything? Like, I'm just giving you, you know what I mean? But some people look at it like that. So her response is that response. Do you pay the bills like this? I'm grown. That went over your head. You low key dumb. You dumb, and you don't think that you dumb, but you dumb. That went over your head, and you missed the point of what I'm saying, or you caught it, but you ain't want to publicly let motherfuckers know that you caught it. So you tried to say some slick shit back and be like, "Well, shit, your mama could never." Bitch, you're 37. Go sit down. You got 3 kids, and you got a daughter that's looking at you like, "Mama, this what to do?" Go sit the fuck down. Go sit down. However, go sit down. You know what I'm saying? But again, perspective is perspective. At the end of the day, everybody different, man. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Do y'all think she was wrong? Do y'all think that shit? Do you agree with the side where it's like, you know, it's my body, I do what I want to do, I'm grown? You know what I'm saying? Y'all believe that side? You know, let me know. Let me know, man. You know what I'm saying? Getting them comments, let me know what's up. And to move forward, I want to say, you know, because I'm seeing a lot of stuff about this Nipsey Hussle, this new Nipsey Hussle Square. So I want to get into that as well. You know what I mean? Want to definitely get into that. So first and foremost, and let me get this back. First and foremost, man, shout out Nipsey Hussle the Great. Shout out Nipsey Hussle the Great. You know, one time for everything that he's done. One time for the legacy. You got to get that man his flowers every time. Every time. So for those of you who have not heard it or have not seen this, Nipsey Hussle got a street named after him. You know, so everything that he's done for the community, who he is, what he meant, you know, and again, it came out today that this is something that he manifested. He always wanted a street named after him. So, you know, Lauren London kind of like let it be known, like he this is what he always wanted. So instead of, you know, Crenshaw and Slauson intersection, it's now called Nipsey Hussle Square. You know what I'm saying? So huge accomplishment. Anytime somebody can name something after you, name a city after you, or name, you know, a block or whatever it may be, that's how you know you putting in work. So when it's all said and done, the fact that you was able to have that speaks volumes. So again, man, one time for Nipsey Hussle. So this is Lauren London speaking at the I'm sure it was like the whole, like, event where they're kind of unveiling or letting it, celebrating Nipsey. This is what she had to say.
Okay, I'm gonna be really, really quick. It's a short story. When me and Nip first started dating, we would drive by over here and he would be like, you know, Boogie, one day they gonna name this whole section after me. And here we are today. So thank you all for showing up. Thank you to our family for being strong and beautiful and inspiring me. So God bless you all and peace and love.
Nah, one time for that, man. Again, one time for that. Like I said, what it takes to be able to get to that point where the whole city proud of you, your whole state, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get at the Nipsey, you know, and people don't speak on it enough. People don't give Nipsey his flowers enough for what he's done. A lot of people weren't even fans of Nipsey, you know, until after he died. They just wasn't interested in him. Me personally, I've been up on Nipsey since I want to say 2009. I remember, so 2009, I graduated in 2009, right? So 2008, 2009, I remember listening to Nipsey and hearing him, you know, for the first time. You know, I think it was the, you know, I want to say Bullets Ain't Got No Name, or I want to say, you know, he had this song, he said, I'm with the gun clapping, but we could line it up. We could line it up. I thought that was super dope back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just brought a different aggression to LA hip hop. You know, I think at the time you had like YG, at the time you had Tyga, as far as the younger guys. I think you had Kendrick. Kendrick was coming up around that time. Obviously, Schoolboy Q, Dom Kennedy, but Nipsey was just, it hit different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was gangster rap, but it was also, I'm giving y'all real game on life. You know what I'm saying? So it started off, when I first started hearing Nipsey, it started off on some just gangster rap shit. You know what I'm saying? You knew he was from 60s. If you from LA, or you grew up in LA, or you from California, you already know, like, and you grew up anywhere around, you know, I grew up in the Valley, right? So the Valley's 818. So when they talk about, you know, the Valley, you hear people from other states kind of, when people talk about LA, they talk about the Valley a lot. And some people, if you're not familiar with LA, you'll be like, oh, well, the Valley's like just straight rich people and, you know, white people. And it's like, it's not that. Part of it, the Valley, that there's two sides to the Valley. The one side that most people are talking about with the money, they're talking about Sherman Oaks, Studio City, North Hollywood. They're talking about Encino. They're talking about Woodland Hills, West Hills, Northridge. They're talking about that side of the Valley, right? With the money, where all the celebrities live at, right? Which is down the street from Beverly Hills. They're talking about that side. The other side of the Valley, they're talking about Pacoima, you know, which I grew up in Sylmar, which is down the street from Pacoima, right? So WAC 100 talks about Pacoima a lot. That's where WAC 100 from. So that whole section, Pacoima, Sylmar, San Fernando, that's the other side of the Valley, east side of the Valley, right? So I remember listening to Nipsey early on, and him just being a guy that was like, you know, just had the aggression and had like the, you know, he was spitting, but he was just giving so much game, you know? And I knew back then, I'm like, bro's gonna be bigger. He gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. But also growing up out here, you also go to parties and you hear that like the nigga really be into shit. You know, the nigga really, he really in the streets for real. I'll see a lot of niggas, they rap about it, but they not really street niggas like that. They're just kind of like, they're just talking. They're just saying, hey, well, I done this, did this. Nowadays, it's a little different. But back then, 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12, that era, it was like, that was before a lot of guys that really was doing a lot of shit they was rapping about, a lot of them was coming in. So at this point in time, it wasn't a lot of people that was doing a lot of shit but talking about it too. You know what I'm saying? So he was kind of doing shit, talking about it, but also giving game to people, you know what I mean? And just showing what a man is. You know what I'm saying? So within you blowing up your career, it's like you got real street beef, and that's what he had constantly. I remember going to a it was like a little club or a lounge or whatever, and they were like, Nipsey's supposed to be here, and then that whole thing changed of Nipsey can't make it because something happened, and it was like a whole situation. I think that's when Hoggy got killed. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's why I say growing up out here, you kind of knew already that Nipsey was into a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because again, he was really living that life. So it was like, yeah, I'm getting bigger. My name is building, but at the end of the day, I'm still living his life. You know what I'm saying? But you also knew, and growing up out here in LA, the 60s, if you know anything about any LA politics or anything hood about LA, you know that the 60s where Nipsey was from, that's for one of the biggest gangs, but for two, one of the most well-respected gangs when it pertains to niggas getting money. You know, so if you know anything about LA or you've been around, whether it's the Valley, whether it's the actual city of LA, you know the 60s get a lot of love, and they're known for being hustlers, but at the same time, they're known for being ruthless too. So you take him getting killed by his own homie or somebody from 60s, to most people outside of LA, you would think that's crazy. Like what, like they do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? But being from here, that's a norm. You know what I'm saying? Because again, they the biggest gang. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of them move. I got a few homies from 60s. So that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So, the whole situation with everything that Nipsey went through to get to that point, that's what makes it sad. But that's also what makes this move of having Nipsey Hussle Square, that's what makes it so monumental. Because again, think about where you come from. You take a guy that's from the hood, did all it was to do in the street, did all it was to do, but it was a hustler, and more than he was a street nigga, he was a businessman, he was a hustler, he was a philanthropist, he was the the modern day Malcolm X, or just in that way of like, I'm trying to show my people a better way. I'm gang banging, I'm fighting, I'm shooting, I'm doing whatever, I'm going to jail or whatever it is. But in the same breath, I'm telling them to buy property. I'm telling them to be men. I'm telling them to support their family. I'm telling them to be hustlers. I'm telling them to find a better way out. I'm telling them I'm giving game as much as I can, giving mindset. So that's what makes this so monumental, because it's like, bro, this a guy that you really seen handing out a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Out the trunk. You know what I'm saying? Handing out a mixtape out the trunk and then blowing up to what he was. And though he wasn't the biggest star, he got bigger after he passed away. Though he wasn't the biggest star, he was still a guy that you could respect and be like, bro really did that. Whether you liked him, because again, I grew up out here in California. So, you grow up with a lot of Crips, you grow up with a lot of Bloods. I'm a non-affiliate, you know what I'm saying? But I got homies that's on both sides. So for me, I'm like, I see how a lot of people, I got blood homies that never like Nipsey, because it's like, he a Crip. You know what I'm saying? You got people that's like that. But even that being the case, niggas had to be like, I respect him, though. I respect him. You know what I'm saying? I respect him, because at the end of the day, I see what he's doing and he's respected. You know what I mean? So again, man, one time for Nipsey Hussle, and just one time for the legacy of being able to do what he's done. Life definitely got cut short, because to me, Nipsey would have been a Jay-Z. You can see the mindset in certain people. You talking about the right shit. You talking about ownership. You talking about buying property. You talking about closing escrow and, buying buildings and building community centers. You're talking about that early in your early 30s. So at 50, 40 something, the nigga definitely would have been up. To me, what I see, how he was moving, he definitely would have been up in the hundreds of millions. if he did it right, for sure. No doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, one time for Nipsey Hussle, man. Till next time, y'all. Till next time.